Hey guys, John here from fittraveller.com. I've been waiting to make this video for quite a while and I thought I'd make it up here. We finally got to Monarch's Pass, which is 11,300 feet. It just made me think how a lot of people, when they're setting goals, they rush things. They don't really know kind of what they want or what it's going to look like, and then they just rush into it. They get annoyed because they're not getting there quick enough. If I'd done that, I wouldn't be here now. You know, this trip I started thinking about 6 years ago. I let certain things get in the way, and then had to start building my business up to a point that I could actually leave it and still be making money to come and do the trip. Even 5 weeks ago now, this is actually it's literally 5 weeks today we started, about 2,300 miles away in DC. If we'd been thinking about just getting to this point, getting up this mountain, it's a massive thing to think about. You know, we just had to take one day at a time. We started off at 60, 70 miles, built up to 80 or 90 miles. We've done some 100-mile days, and finally we found ourselves at the bottom today. You know, looking up, thinking, man, we've got to get up there to 11,300. So one of the things I want to talk about is the difference between kind of fear and faith. I heard this the other day. I was watching, getting a bit into American football in a couple of motels. I've been watching the American football, and one of the coaches was talking about a few years ago, there was a team, the New England Patriots, who were 18-0. In other words, they won 18 games and lost none. Went into the Super Bowl. Everybody thought they were going to win. I think it was against the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers actually won in the end. And the coach was talking about the difference between having fear and having faith when you're chasing after a big goal. And I think you'll find a lot of you, whether we're talking about fat loss, whether we're talking about a challenge like this, you know, a certain time in a triathlon, business goals, family goals, whatever it is, the reason you fail is because you've got too much fear. You kind of almost fear what it's going to be like when you succeed. Okay, rather than just have it, sometimes you do just have to have blind faith that you will get to that huge goal, and then you start taking the small steps along the way. Like I said, you know, this trip, you can't just magically cycle 3,500 miles. You do one day at a time, one hill at a time, and eventually you make it. So I want you to have a think about whether your mindset is one of fear or is it one of faith. Okay, do you have faith in what you're doing? Do you truly believe in the goal you're trying to achieve, or are you kind of scaring yourself out of it? For instance, a few times when we were going up this hill, Liz has been going, oh, it's too hard, you know, I'm not keeping up with you, I'm not going fast enough, and because, you know, I am stronger than her, I am fitter than her. That's the way it is. It's not a massive problem at all. And I said to her, you know, this is your challenge. We know we're both going to end up at the same place. Sorry. Have the faith that you can do it. Have the faith in your fitness. You know you're fit enough to do it. But like I said, to a certain extent, she has to have blind faith, like I did sometimes, just pushing up that hill. We will get there. We didn't know how long it was going to take. We literally don't know what's around the next corner coming up these mountains. That's what I mean about taking it step by step. Yes, you do need to have the big goal in mind, but don't kind of think about that solely, because it's then very difficult to get there, and you will be scared of your goal because it's so big. So how do we get this? How do we get the kind of the faith mindset rather than the fear one? I think a lot of it comes down to essentially your, what I call your frame of reference. In other words, what do you refer to when you're chasing a goal? You need some inspiration, you need that kick up the arse to get you going when you're down and you feel like quitting. I believe it's truly and simply down to the people you surround yourself with. I used to work in a gym. Sorry if this offends anyone who used to work there, but all I ever thought about was just becoming the top trainer in the club, because that's all I knew. You know, the people I was looking at and talking to and spending my time with, that was really all it was about. Just get a few more clients, how can I make a bit more money? And I eventually realised that I was never really going to be successful, you know, following or copying these guys. I had to look elsewhere. So surrounding yourself with the successful people and people you want to be like, obviously it can mean your actual social circles, who you socialise with, who you actually physically spend your time with and go out with. Obviously the people you work with is a massive thing as well. You guys that have got the kind of 9-to-5 office jobs, if you're surrounded by people who don't care, who just sit around just waiting for Saturday so they can lie in bed, then that's all you're going to become. Okay, you have to take steps to bring other people into your life who are really going to inspire you, give you the knowledge you need to progress, whether you're a fitness trainer or you own your own business completely aside from fitness. So I started doing that with people I followed on the internet. I'm quite happy to name them people like Dax Moy. He's been a massive influence on me. in terms of setting my lifestyle exactly how I want it. You know, that's how like this trip has come about. Some people look at me and say, "You're only 27. You should be, you know, in a job, earning money to buy a house and think about having kids, and you know, the usual stuff everybody else does." But you know, that's not living to me. I had to find a way to create this lifestyle, and like I say, people like Dax Moy have helped me do that. People like Paul Mortz, I spend a lot of time talking to him, following what he does. He's just on it all the time. He's like me, very, very proactive. So I follow what he does on the internet. You know, he lives hundreds and hundreds of miles away from me. I live in Guernsey. He lives up in some estate up north. I think it's called Sunderland or something. No, seriously, he's a long way away from me, but I'm still able to be influenced by his attitude and the actions he takes. Phil Richards is another one. Really inspires me in terms of his drive to bring health to people, and he just will not stop. He's always studying, he always wants to be better, and by following that kind of attitude, that's what's helped me build my business to where it is, which has enabled me to come on this trip. You know, more and more I try and surround myself with people who are better than me, okay? People who will drag me up to their level. And what I want you to do is just look around, take a serious look around at who you surround yourself with. That includes the magazines you read. You know, those people who write those magazines, the bullshit they write in some of these health and fitness magazines, that will influence you. The people you spend your weekends with, yes, you might say, "Oh, but they're my best friend, they've been my best friend for ages," but if they're a layabout, if they've got no aspirations in life, then that's what you're going to become. You're going to become exactly like them. Like I say, the people you work with, to a certain extent, you can't choose who you work with. You know, you can change jobs a lot easier than you think. That's another story. You know, just don't spend time listening to these people who tell you can't do this and can't do that. Again, we've had this as we come across America. I mean, look at the weather here. I'm almost at the top of the Rockies. We were told not to do the Rockies because it might be snowing up there, it might be a bit cold. There was a lot of naysayers, and you know, as we got closer and we spoke to people who were into biking, and again, the kind of people I want to be surrounded with, the people who live the active lifestyle, they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll be fine, it's not a problem." You just fell over there. Sorry, it's getting a bit windy up here. I'm nearly finished. Yeah, so like I say, look at what you read in magazines and on the internet, what you watch on TV as well. If you're just listening to all the negative stuff on the news, you're going to create this negative mindset of, you know, everybody's poor, the recession's bringing everybody down, life's crap, and that's what you're going to see more and more of. You know, the more you think about it, that's what you're going to see in your life, okay? It's kind of like poverty and struggle. So yeah, and obviously who you socialise with. If you're out in the piss every Saturday night and that's what your life is all about, then you know, you're never going to get to do stuff like this. So anyway, I've got 40 miles of downhill to do, so I'm going to get cracking. But have a think about what I said. You know, just watch this video again, think about what I said about the difference between fear and faith. You know, do you truly have faith in what you're doing, or are you scared of something? Are you scared of actually being a success? If you want to watch a great video, if you go on YouTube and type in something like Coach Carter's speech, something like that, and listen to, there's just an awesome speech on there about that we actually fear our success more than failure. Okay, we're almost scared of what we could actually achieve, and that's the problem with a lot of people. But I truly believe it starts with the people you surround yourself with in every aspect of your life. So just watch the video again, go and check out that Coach Carter video, and then just sit down by yourself, switch your phone off, and just think for 10 minutes about all the people you interact with on a daily basis, on TV, magazines, at work, socialising, your sports club, and you'll probably find that your attitudes are very similar to theirs. So if you know you need a different attitude in order to be a success, then go and find some different people. I'll speak to you soon.